Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's me. Fuck. All right, Katie has given us a new template here for the podcast, so I'm fucking it up. I'm doing it one more time. One more time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Geek Gourmet Podcast, your home for all things geek news. It's me, the Louie.
And I'm Real Slim Katie 25. Let's get into it. First up on the menu, we're serving up some fresh hot geek news. Louie, I'm sure you saw this, and I know you saw this because I sent it to you, that Tom Holland went on to Jimmy Fallon to go ahead and announce that Spiderman 4 is indeed happening, to a big, well-rehearsed bout of studio audience applause. Set to release in 2026, 2 months after Avengers Doomsday. I think this is super interesting. I mean, obviously Tom Holland is famous for being very interesting with media training and not being able to keep things a secret, whether that was an intentional character choice for him, you know, that Marvel wanted to use him as such, or if he really is just bad at keeping secrets. I think it's cute that they went and announced it like this.
Yeah, and you know, something that I feel very self-conscious about that I'm going to talk about right now before I say my thoughts about this is that this mustache isn't staying. I just want to throw that out there.
Wait, what?
I realized
like the mustache.
I realized that I still had it on. We had a costume party last night, and it was part of the costume. You have to see the Instagram on Halloween Day. Okay, you're gonna have to wait to see.
It's gonna be out by then.
This?
Yeah, the podcast episode will be out.
Okay, well then
Halloween.
That's great, but you can see it. Go to the Geek Gourmet Instagram, and you'll see the costume for the aforementioned.
You're making us go to our Instagram page.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. As much traffic as we get on there as possible.
Well, anyways, I like the mustache.
Thank you. It's going to leave probably because we have a costume party next weekend as well. But the costume for next weekend is going to be different. So
okay,
it's leaving. It will be leaving. But anyways, Tom Holland, everybody. Wow.
Nobody's surprised by this.
Yeah, we saw this coming. It was not that crazy.
It's not like they weren't gonna make one after the literal cliffhanger they left the. Anyways,
and that's just how they've been operating on pretty much
like
all the movies that they've released. So they've all pretty much been on cliffhanger. Well, at least the second one. The first one though, kind of, because that's when Zendaya was like, "Call me MJ," and like that was like a little cliffhanger. But anyway, it's not surprising.
Not the same as being like, "Hey, all of my friends are gonna forget me, and I'm gonna be essentially like forgotten to the world." Spoilers for No Way Home. If you somehow haven't seen that movie, it's 2 years old at this point. That's already gotten like 3 re-releases in theaters. So, I mean, honestly, I'd be shocked if anybody missed that movie. Ooh, you just got quiet, Louie.
Test.
There we go. Now we're sounding good.
Yeah, that's not surprising. None of it's surprising. It's exciting though. What are your thoughts? What are your hopes? What do you hope? Is there a villain you hope you see? Is there like a vibe that you hope you get from the movie?
I don't know how they're gonna do this movie because honestly, the plot of the movie has to be first. Like, I see the movie going one of two ways. The first way is how do we get from nobody knows who you are right now to back to all of the supporting cast does know who you are? Is the entire movie going to take up me either explaining to these people that I need their help for XYZ reason and you have to remember me, blah, blah, blah? Or is he going to try to go back in time? Is he going to try to jog their memory for real? Or is that all going to get resolved in the first 20 minutes because there's a big bad and they have to go along with it because they have to help save the world?
I also think it's possible, this would be a bit of a cop-out, but I think it's possible that at the end of Avengers Doomsday, something would happen that would enable them to all remember. Kind of, sort of like how Endgame, in a way, not exactly, but resolved some of the issues of characters no longer being around. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, this will be a big one for him, too, presumably because of his relationship with Tony Stark.
Right.
We'll see how he fares in Doomsday.
Right.
There was a rumor going around that Andrew Garfield had a role in Doomsday.
I mean, that wouldn't be surprising, especially with the whole Secret Wars thing. And, you know, like I've been talking about, like, we were getting into this multiverse thing, and there's a lot of variants and all of those things being thrown around. So it's certainly possible that he would come back and Toby would as well. I think the audience is hoping for it, right? Like, I think in a lot of ways the audience is, like, we're having, like, an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man redemption arc.
That's true. Garfield's super hot topic right now.
Very hot.
Obviously, he's very hot.
Very
Regardless
hot
of your
indeed.
feelings about men, he's like really hot.
He's a very
Objectively.
handsome, charming guy. I watched that video with him and that blonde.
And Amelia, what's her name?
Yeah, Amelia
Chicken shop
something.
date.
Chicken shop date. I saw the chicken shop date.
I
And I
know.
was
You
like,
could
how,
cut that
like,
sexual tension with a knife.
dude, I had sexual tension with my phone.
I know.
It was
Me
insane.
too. I'm just like,
It was wild.
is that how people talk when they flirt?
Yeah, I mean sometimes.
Damn. Maybe I need to go flirt.
You should go practice that with your.
I gotta go wake up Andrew. Andrew, wake up. I gotta flirt on you.
I gotta flirt on you.
To you? With you?
Sure.
At
Whatever.
you? I don't know.
With you.
Speaking
with
of
me.
Spider-Man, by the way, we got our first images of Nick Cage as Spider-Noir.
Dude, it looks cool. It looks great.
I actually think the costume looks great.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the images, we might link them to our Instagram. But
We've definitely reposted.
I think we've definitely posted it already. But
Yeah.
I will repost it for you guys. But yeah,
Go
I think he looks
ahead.
cool, and that's
Yeah.
it. It's just
And
that.
that's
image.
it.
That's
I'm
it,
interested to see
guys.
where they go with it because as much Spider-Man as I've read, I haven't read any Spider-Noir comic books or any of those storylines. And for those of you who aren't aware how some of these characters kind of came to fruition, obviously some of these were just kind of written back in the day, but they really came into the light when Spider-Verse came out, not the movie, but the comic book line.
Mhm.
And then that's when kind of everything started to branch out. It became super famous and all that stuff. But
Yeah, Spider-Verse, the Spider-Verse movies is my first like real exposure to Spider-Noirs.
Cool.
Yeah,
Good
we'll see.
shit.
It's such an interesting concept. I love Nick Cage, and anything he touches is gonna be gold. So I'll be thrilled.
He is, speaking of redemption arcs, he's another actor who's kind of had a. I mean, obviously Andrew Garfield never fell out of the like hearts of people, but like the Spider-Man movies did. But like Nick Cage, Brendan Fraser, there's like a lot of actors that just kind of like have fallen and then they came back up, which is really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, I love that though. And
Nick
Hayden
Cage had
Christensen
that time
too.
where everybody was like, all of his movies suck. He does whatever.
Robert
the hell he
Pattinson.
wants. Robert Pattinson.
He's going through a big redemption arc right now.
Yes, the boy in the heron, Batman. It's great. It's good shit.
Mickey 17 coming out.
Mickey
so soon,
17.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this next one is a Louie centric piece of news.
Only because I infamously dislike this piece of media.
Well, because you haven't given it its try. I think if I had to guess, you've either fallen asleep or you've avoided it because you hate movies with the sand, and that's okay.
I've tried to watch it twice. I've tried to watch Dune twice, and I find it so uninteresting.
No, yeah, and kind of how like everybody else and their mother finds the new Star Wars things uninteresting, but you still find them interesting for some reason.
So maybe there's something wrong in my brain.
With you, I think.
With me.
With you. I'm just kidding. Well, okay, look, listen. I understand when people are like, the first one is super boring. I get it. Like the first half of it, you are like, but it's super interesting to me because I read Dune, and it's quite a wonderful piece of literature. It's quite literally literature, like just the ideas and the biblical allusions to the like societal illusions of the time and just all things like that. Like it's just layers upon layers of things. So I'm a big fan.
That's why I couldn't get into it, because I tried to read Dune first and it was such a trudge to try to read it without like, I think it's just, it really is like, it's so well written, but it is an epic. I mean, the book is huge. So if you're not like ready to commit to that and you're not willing to lock in and give that time, I mean, it's just a battle for impatience for me. I'm sure if I got through the whole thing, I would find things I enjoyed with it, because it really is wonderfully written.
I really do think you would like it because a lot of the like sci-fi things that I'm sure we've talked about this, that we love today, including Star Wars, comes from Dune, right? Like those ideas and those illusions and galactic battles and blah 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 all come from the mind of Frank Herbert, because George Lucas was like, I fucking love this, and kind of made Star Wars from using Dune as an inspiration. So like, but obviously like, we're not talking about the first Dune movie. We're talking about Dune Prophecy, a trailer that dropped literally 9 hours ago.
Swear to God, though, when we hit 2,000 subscribers, I'll watch Dune in full.
Well, I will say this. On my birthday, I'm planning to have a Dune watch party. So the first Dune and the second Dune. I'm also considering throwing in the Kyle MacLachlan one in the 80s, from the 80s.
Okay.
With Sting as Fade Rotha, but...
Okay.
Probably not. It's just kind of a weird movie. It's not not that great.
Do a watch party in Discord. Can I come?
In Discord, woods, sure. And then I'm gonna look at the screen, and then you're gonna be asleep.
Maybe. No guarantees, guys. Anyways,
anyway,
Dune Prophecy.
Dune Prophecy. I watched the trailer. It looks
And
good. It looks like very much within the world that Dennis Villeneuve. I don't remember his name. Dennis. We're gonna call him Dennis V.
classic Dennis.
Dennis Villeneuve. I think that's how you say his last name. I can't remember right now. Has made for this Dune universe, and his interpretation of Dune is honestly widely loved by those of us who have watched and read the books, watched the movies, read the books. Obviously, like anything else, you can't really like capture everything, but I think he did a really good job. And so, what I don't know about this trailer is where where in the kind of storyline we're in. The Harkonnens are still like around and prevalent. So my assumption that this is pre Atreides going to Arrakis, right, before the events of the first Dune book. However, I know that I've only gotten through Dune and half of Messiah at this point, and so I know that there is a book down the line that Frank Herbert himself has written, that has to do through the eyes of the Bene Gesserit witches, which is what this show is about. It's about that part of the Dune universe and them trying to grasp for power. And so I'm interested to see if this is meant to be like a sequel to Dune, or if this is meant to be like, because for those of you who don't know, and I think Kay, this is prevalent information for you too, is that the Dune books are not completely like one right after the other, right? And so I believe the second book is 12 years into Paul Atreides' role as emperor, and then like Dune, I forget what the name of the third one is, like 1500 years after that. So it like they really like fucking go past. So if this is a sequel to Dune 1 and 2, then I mean it's just certainly possible, right? Because by then it's all changed and that particular Paul story isn't being touched, you know? Although if you ever read Dune Messiah, like get into, if we watch those movies, they definitely are like, oh, Paul literally changed the course of the universe forever, like that sort of thing. So anyway, it looks good. It sounds good. They have some very interesting actors. Mark Strong, bald guy, kind of looks like, what's his name from Hunger Games?
From Hunger Games.
Yeah, he Stanley Tucci. Kind of looks like Stanley Tucci.
Oh, he's not bald in Hunger Games, which is why I think it threw me off.
Yeah.
He's got great hair in Hunger Games.
He does. He has a great wig in Hunger Games.
Yeah.
For sure. Anyway, the larger version of Stanley Tucci, Mark Strong, he's like one of the main characters. So that's interesting. I'm not really familiar with any of the other people, but I am familiar with their character names and see like some Atreides in there, some Harkonnen, and then and things like that. So some familiar names at least in a familiar world, so I'm excited to watch it once it does come out. Cool. HBO Max exclusive, by the way.
HBO Max, is it? And this is a show, right?
This is a TV show. Yeah.
And I mean, HBO Max is it's a hard fumble on their TV shows. They are not one to normally let their TV projects falter. In fact, everything they've released this year is done well in terms of TV.
And I will say, Katie and I have such a very different like watch list.
Yeah, that's true.
Katie's is super drama, you know, like all that stuff, and mine is fucking cartoons. So I think we can both like adequately say that on both ends of that spectrum, HBO Max does deliver. I mean, like watching My Adventures of Superman was really fun. Watching Young Justice, and like I watched like the Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn, the Suicide Squad Isekai, which is like an anime version of the Suicide Squad, and I didn't hate it. I definitely did not hate it. Didn't hate. I haven't finished it. That's why I can't say whether or not I like it yet. But I'm
still catching up on Penguin, so
yes, I haven't seen Penguin yet.
Honestly, fantastic. It's everything that I like in a drama. Suspense.
Great.
Feels like it's made by the Safdie brothers.
Okay, got it. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, yeah, maybe I will, guys. If you want to see me talk about Dune and suffer through watching Dune 1 and 2, help bring us to 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. And that'll be the first thing I do. That's a Katie Mark guarantee.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see. Yep.
Well, speaking of a Katie Mark guarantee, this is something I pretty much guaranteed I thought would never happen. Neve Campbell, original Scream Queen, is returning for Scream 7 after like everything crazy controversial that happened. So one of the actors, Louie, I don't know if you remember this, made some like pro-Palestinian comments and then let go from the franchise because there's no tolerance for anti-Semitism. And then the day after, Jenna Ortega was like, I'm leaving the project, but it's due to salary disputes, guys. Don't worry. Really sus. My 2 cents, not to get political,
Mhm.
but being pro-liberation doesn't mean you're anti-Semitic. Sorry. So I think that was a really unfortunate thing. I can't begin to comprehend how politics plays into the business of film and stuff like that. So to each their own, and I understand whatever business decisions people make, blah, blah, blah. But I think they really fumbled the bag because I think the sister dynamic between the two of them is like what made the requels of Scream really good. So we'll see if Neve Campbell's coming back. Obviously, she led the franchise to become what it is today. I mean, she's the reason Scream is what it is. So at least if we've lost the two of them, I'm very excited to see her back, especially after they've slaughtered my boy. They've done bad in reference to killing Dewey.
Okay. I was like, what
Sorry.
are we talking about here?
No, they killed Dewey. And our friend Mia, I mean, you should have seen her face when that happened. Devastated. Like, you would have thought she was, like, gonna cry.
Wow.
Friend
That
of the
important.
show.
I've seen
Yeah.
the first Scream whenever everybody was like, Drew Barrymore's in this movie, and it like wasn't her.
Yeah, she's in that movie.
No, I know, but like she dies like super quickly in the first one.
Yeah, first like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Like she's the entire first scene, and then that's it.
Yeah, and I remember distinctly that there was so much marketing with Drew Barrymore specifically in this film.
Yeah, she was the poster girl, even though she literally was not the final girl. She was literally the first girl. So sucks.
Which is interesting, because I mean, like, thinking about that marketing ploy or thinking about how you structure a film, like, for Scream being at that time, like, a new franchise, what a way to, like, kick off your franchise. Like, okay, we don't have the money to, like, pay Drew Barrymore for a whole film, but let's get her for 15 minutes in the film, make that the whole deal, and fucking psych people out.
I will say, I don't think she was famous at that point.
Which,
I think this is one of the things that made her famous. Now I'm gonna look. I mean, she obviously was famous. Sorry, that's so stupid. Like, obviously she was. She was an actor from like since she was like 3 or 4 years old. But when did she like? When was her like big that she became like cemented? Because she was a child actor, like true child actor.
Yeah, absolutely, she was. Here, I got you.
Not that she was, because she was obviously famous before she got into Scream, but I'd be really curious to see at what point.
So think about it.
She had her first lead.
Came out in '96. So let's look at that. Drew Barrymore.
At what point did she become perceived as famous?
So when her biggest films
she led Wedding Singer right after that. Never Been Kissed was right after that. Donnie Darko right after that. So
after Cinderella Story, yeah.
She started getting to the age of leading roles at that point.
Yeah. Okay, so we're both.
But yeah, I mean, obviously she was hella famous from at least E.T.
Yeah, from E.T. And then as time went on, she just kept getting more and more famous. But
she was an unnamed werewolf victim in Waxworks too. Very important that I just found that out.
Great.
Anyways, I will be excited. The Scream franchise handled its reboot very, very well, in my opinion. I would love to see them continue to do that. My hopes are low because I think it was very contingent on that dynamic. But anyways, other news in horror land. We got a very vague update from Jason Blum of Blumhouse about the Dead by Daylight film. Did you hear about this, Louie?
You know, I did not know that Dead by Daylight was making a film until today.
You totally did, because there's literally recorded evidence on podcasts of me telling you and you saying, I've never heard of that.
I'm gonna trust you.
I think your mind is Mandela-ing you to forget about the Dead by Daylight movie.
Absolutely.
Probably. I'm trying not to gaslight you. I just feel like maybe we did talk about it.
It's possible.
Before.
It's possible.
Anyways, Louie, guess what? There's a Dead by Daylight movie.
We could also look back at the paperwork for the podcast to see if it's ever been on there. You know
I don't trust myself. If I accidentally gaslight you, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But his update was, this movie, we're just waiting on the script to be right. We're waiting on the script to be good. Can't produce the movie until the script is good. So that could take 12 months. That could take 5 years. I just don't know. So they're being hella vague about it.
Very vague,
I think, yeah. We'll see. They've also not named the screenwriters for this film or the director. So we shall see. They're also busy doing FNAF 2 stuff. So, of course, they would never release this in the same year, even if they finished the script this month, shot it all, and had it fully edited by June. They still wouldn't release it this year, because why would they do that the same year as they have FNAF 2? So
yeah, FNAF is just such a big property that it would overshadow whatever Dead by Daylight would end up being anyway. So
yep. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Why did it log me out
Agreed.
of my Google account?
What?
It logged me out of my Google account, like
Well,
on both the episode breakdown and shit while I'm reading it. That made me so mad.
I can start the next
Anyways,
thing.
Louie, let's transition to video games real quick.
So I think we briefly talked about it. You've never played Call of Duty before, right?
No, I've never played it, but you said that I might like it.
You might. I mean, if we would have talked about this 6 months ago, I'd have been like, no, there's no way you would like this. But because we've played Fortnite, played Halo,
Fork knife.
I feel like you may enjoy it. It's definitely more fast paced than Fortnite. It's more similar to Halo in that regard.
Okay.
But it's definitely like a game where a lot of people have like really honed their skills. So each game's a little different, right?
Okay.
I've been playing Call of Duty since like Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So that was Call of
I've
Duty
been
4.
playing Call of Duty since you were in diapers.
Is this a meme? Are you memeing right now?
I don't know. I was just trying to be silly.
Is this a meme?
I was trying to be
so
silly.
Call of Duty came out 2 days ago by the time we're recording this.
Mm-hmm.
I have it downloaded. I haven't started to play it yet. However, I've been looking at reviews, and IGN rated the story 9 out of 10, which is super cool because I feel like the last Call of Duty games, their stories have been kind of just garbage.
Go shoot.
I remember the last one that I really enjoyed playing was probably... I know people hate on this game, but Call of Duty Ghosts. This was back in like 2014, 2015. That campaign, I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't love the multiplayer of that game. I quite frankly hated my life while I was playing it, but I did play it because that's what people do. They play games that they hate.
Right.
But I'm excited to play this. I'm hoping to play it on the channel in some sort of fashion because
Love that.
it's just such an easy thing. But yeah, I'm really excited to get into like zombies and the multiplayer aspects. I know you don't know this, Katie, but every other Call of Duty game has a zombies horde, a game mode where you just play zombies.
Okay.
It's based off rounds, right? So round 1 you get 10 zombies, and then it just goes and goes and goes and goes. I remember playing Black Ops 4 or something. This is Call of Duty Black Ops 6, by the way. I don't know if I said this. Black Ops 4. Every time there's zombies, I feel like they just get more and more different, but like in a very good way. The last one I really played was Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and the zombies was super interesting. You had to like solve these puzzles, and you had to fight all these different monsters. So like first 10 levels might just be normal zombies, and then they'll throw in like crawlers. They'll throw in like just other things,
other
right?
types to like
other types of zombies and monsters to fight, and you can get perks and like all of these things. So they really incentivize you to come back so you can see how far you can get, right? After you play zombies, right? And you can get like gumballs, at least back in the day. You can get like gumballs that like give you perks, right? So if you like go to the gumball machine, you buy a gumball, you eat it, and it's like all the guns you have now all of a sudden can electrocute.
Wait, that kind of sounds fun a little bit.
I think you would enjoy that aspect. Do you have Ultimate?
Ultimate what?
Xbox Ultimate? Do you pay for Ultimate, or do you just pay for core?
I have the Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass.
Yes, but do you have Ultimate? Because there's like tiers.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm asking because Ultimate is where you can download Black Ops 6 if you have Ultimate.
I don't know if I can download it.
We'll just take a look. And we'll play it. So anyway, it seems like everybody's really enjoying this game, and I'm excited to hop in it when I have some time. I think it'll be really fun.
Yeah. Louie, I have a crazy thing to tell you about, by the way.
What?
And this is a bigger question, okay? So, in Fortnite, you know how they're like famous for doing like brand crossovers? Take 3 guesses what the next promotional crossover for Fortnite is.
I've been wanting One Piece. I know that's not going to happen right now, but I've been wanting One Piece.
I think you are not the only one who wants that. It is not what I'm talking about right now, but I think people would eat the shit out of that.
Okay.
I'm Monkey D. Luffy, and I'm going to fight Peely.
Yeah. I'm going to say, I don't know, like a Dallas Cowboys crossover. We can play as Dak Prescott.
Honestly, would not be shocking. But no.
Okay, I got one more guess.
One more guess, really out there.
Girly Pop Summer season pass, right? Where you can play as Chapel Roan, Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter, and Billie Eilish, and Charlie XCX,
and Leve. Love that. I literally think that'd be so good. They did drop, I think, the emote. It's called Caffeinated, and it's just like a dance to espresso.
Oh, okay. That's fun.
But no, sadly not yet, even though Billie Eilish did do a Fortnite concert
She
at
did.
one point, so it wouldn't be
Yes, she
too
did.
off base, but our next Fortnite promotional crossover. And this makes sense because they've been doing a lot with Disney Pixar and doing Disney villains soon, but we're getting Cars in Fortnite. Not
I'm
Cars
interested.
the vehicle, Cars the property. Like Tow Mater, like Lightning McQueen, which begs the question, are the cars playable characters because they are sentient beings, or do you ride in the cars like they're cars, like you use cars in Fortnite?
You know, I would say I'm interested. That is interesting because like that dynamic is weird. But I feel like every time something like this has come out, they've blown it out of the water, right? Like they have been
Yeah.
so successful in getting properties together and balancing them out in the game, right? So like when I first heard, and this is years ago at this point, when I first heard that Goku in the Dragon Ball universe was going to be
Huh.
in Fortnite, I was like, that's stupid. He's gonna have a Kamehameha. He's gonna you're gonna if you're Goku, you're gonna just destroy anybody.
Right.
But regardless, they found a way to balance it out. So I feel like they're gonna find a way to balance it out.
I
However,
think
I'm interested to see what those hitboxes are like for your guns. Like, where do you even like hit them? You know what I mean?
so. I think my title's misleading a little bit. I think cars are going to be mostly used as skins in the rocket racing mode of
Mm,
Fortnite.
mm-hmm.
Probably not affecting us in Battle Royale. But I love the idea of you playing as Lightning McQueen or Tow Mater and then getting into a vehicle. So then you're a car in a car. Because it's confusing, but for Fortnite it would just make sense. Yeah, basically. Other news is that video game actors are still working on striking, trying to reach an agreement with SAG-AFTRA about getting more protections against AI and more protections for video game actors. So if any of your favorite games are on pause, that would be why.
That's interesting. There's been a lot of that lately, and I think with the rise of AI, we're just kind of having to like restructure the way we think. I think streaming, and this was evident in the one of the last strikes that we've had with like streaming and like royalties and how royalties don't exactly work the same anymore, and like all of those things. Like it's just so interesting, so interesting because it's just this new age as technology develops. So does the legal system.
Right.
So it's super interesting, and I will say this: I think AI has a place in this world. You know, I think that AI can be super helpful.
I agree.
However, when you're stealing the likeness of somebody or the brain of somebody, right? That AI needs to learn from somebody. So it's like
And that's scary.
use the person, not that, right? Because the person's gonna always give you the better work, and also it's just more humane, you know. So
It is interesting. Like I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but like at what point does artificial intelligence know too much that it begins to feel like you've created this thing just for free labor? At what point do humans begin to feel guilty about what they've created?
yeah, and unfortunately, I think it's gonna take something catastrophic for people to really feel that way. And in a weird way, also not to get conspiracy, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of like underlying control over these sorts of things. I bet you that AI that you're talking about has been developed, but they have a way of not releasing that to us, right? Or like
Yeah.
they have a way of like circumventing those things so that it doesn't hit the public in such a way that is catastrophic to us, right? And so like I don't know, it's just so weird because we have no way of really knowing those things and just knowing our immediate like impacts right now, which
It's
is
scary.
people are worried about losing out on their jobs and you know signing their voice away in a contract that's like, hey, we can use your AI likeness.
Right. And
Peace.
essentially create something to become you. It's just scary. But, anyways, let's get rid of all that scariness. Louie, I've got a surprise for. I have come up with a fun little game for us. Louie has no
Woo!
idea. Louie's just along for the ride. So now we're going to start a new segment we're going to call Log Lines. For
Log
this
lines.
game,
Okay.
I'm going to give Louie the title of a movie whose trailer has dropped in the past few weeks with a couple
Okay.
of factoids. And Louie's going to try to guess what the hell this movie is about.
Okay.
So we're going to get started. I'm going to give you our title, a couple of the actors, and then the production company making the film.
Okay.
And then I want you to try to guess for me genre and what you think it could be about.
Okay.
Okay. So, first movie whose trailer dropped, I think like 3 days ago. It's called Love Hurts. It stars Ki Kwan, Sean
him.
Astin, and
Love him.
footballer Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch from the Seattle Seahawks. Okay.
Yeah.
What is
And
this
this is
called
being
again?
produced by Universal Pictures. It's called Love Hurts.
Okay.
And I will give you that it is coming out in February.
I'm going to assume it's a Valentine's Day comedy, right?
Okay.
Where Ke Kwan and Sean Astin are best friends.
Okay.
And one of them likes a girl who likes football star Marshawn Lynch, and they're trying to figure out how he can get the girl over this football star.
Okay. I love
That's
it.
my guess. That's my
Okay. You were close. You guessed it was a romantic comedy. And not quite. This is going to be an action film.
Okay.
This is going to be Kiki's first starring role, leading man role. I'm
Yeah.
very, very excited for him. And here is it's not even a log line. This is not one sentence. This is a long-winded paragraph from Universal. But I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. This Valentine's Day, Oscar winner Ke Kwan from Everything Everywhere All at Once and Loki rockets into his first major leading man role as an unlikely hero, a seemingly mild-mannered realtor with a dark secret that he is desperate to leave behind. Spoiler alert, he won't. Kwan stars as Marvin Gable, a realtor working in the Milwaukee suburbs where for sale signs bloom. Gable receives a crimson envelope.
Marvin Gale, Asian man named Marvin Gale in Not Milwaukee.
Marvin Gale, Marvin Gable. I just mispronounced it.
Marvin Gable. Either way, Asian man in Milwaukee. They're not already suspecting him. You know what I mean? They're not already expecting him to be some sort of agent or something. Anyway, continue.
I don't know.
Continue.
Where for sale signs bloom, Gable receives a crimson envelope from Rose, Oscar winner Ariana DeBose from West Side Story and Argyle, a former partner in crime that he had left for dead. She's not happy.
Oh my god, the stacked cast, dude.
Stacked cast, paragraph 3. Now, Marvin is thrust back into a world of ruthless hitmen filled with double crosses, open houses turned into deadly war zones. With his brother, Knuckles, Daniel Wu from Tomb Raider and Warcraft, a volatile crime lord hunting him, Marvin must confront the choices that haunt him and the history he never truly buried. So this feels like they're doing John Wick.
This is insane. Okay, fine.
Right?
It's great. I mean, yeah, sure.
You know me, I don't watch pure action movies. I'll watch the fuck out of this. This sounds awesome.
Well, that cast is just kind of stacked for no reason. It feels like.
I know. And Sean Astin and Marshawn Lynch aren't even in supporting cast. They're tertiary cast members. Isn't that nuts?
So interesting.
So we'll see. Yeah. Louie, I'm gonna give us a thumbs based on that one log line. Are you excited for this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Anything with him, with Ke Kwan, I'm there, man.
Yeah.
I think he's great. He's very cute. He's a cute man.
Yeah. Yeah. So next up, this dropped, I want to say earlier this week. This movie is called September 5th. It is produced by Paramount, starring Peter Sarsgaard and Joe Magaro.
Okay.
That's all you have.
I'm thinking September 5th. But you didn't tell me who's Paramount. Okay.
I will say, I believe this is based on a true story.
So September 5th, I'm going to assume that these are the days leading up to 9/11 and that there's some sort of story there that the public doesn't super know about, but they've made a movie about it now.
Okay. I think that movie would explode America. I don't think people would be ready to see a movie about what we don't know about 9/11. I think, logically, based on that, I also associate every early week of September with 9/11 and the events regarding that. However, I think people making that movie would be on a suicide mission. I think they are asking for something bad to happen to them.
The CIA would be just.
Yeah, they'd be like, hey, shut the fuck up, buddies. This is not fun. This isn't silly. But no, September 5th, or I guess September 5, maybe. Maybe I got it wrong. Anyways, here is the logline released by Paramount. September 5 unveils the decisive moment that forever changed media coverage and continues to impact live news today. Set during the 1972 Munich Summer Olympics, the film follows an American sports broadcasting team that quickly adapted from sports reporting to live coverage of the Israeli athletes taken hostage. Through this lens, September 5 provides a fresh perspective on the live broadcast scene globally by an estimated 1 billion people at the time.
So a different tragedy.
Yeah. And I read that and I'm like, how did I not know that happened?
I did know that happened, actually.
I didn't know that happened. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wild.
Dude, the Olympics, man, they're just a place to like breed certain things, you know, like just
Yeah.
like looking back to the history of the Olympics during like the world wars and stuff, like they were just there's just a
Yeah.
lot of drama surrounding that as well. And even the last not the not the Paris Olympics, but I was thinking about
Georgia.
the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup.
Oh, FIFA
And
World Cup.
how there's like some conspiracy about how this American no, maybe not American, I can't remember what nationality this man was from, but
Mhm.
was supporting trans people in I can't remember the country they're in, a Middle Eastern country, on live television, and he died mysteriously a few days later.
Jesus.
So like
I guess I'm just surprised I didn't hear about it because I do watch a lot of videos of like most disturbing moments in live television history, blah blah blah. Like
yeah,
I'm surprised
for
this didn't
sure.
come out. But anyways, next movie, we're gonna shuffle through these last three. This movie is called The Brutalist and is being produced by A24, starring Adrian Brody.
Love that guy.
Love, so sexy.
You ever watch sorry for the brief intermission, but you ever watch the French Dispatch? He's in the French Dispatch. He's in like all those Wes Anderson movies, but
No, I didn't watch French Dispatch, but I think I confuse it with whatever the last fucking one. What's the last Wes Anderson movie that came out?
the space one.
Yeah,
The one
Asteroid
about the
City.
alien.
Asteroid City.
Yeah,
I confuse it with that one.
Asteroid City's okay.
It was okay. Yeah, I agree.
French Dispatch was better, a lot better.
Okay, heard.
Anyway,
Yeah. Anyways, your guess.
okay.
I did not guess this one.
The Brutalist, Adrian Brody, A24. Thinking about what A24 puts out, it's gonna be midsummery. It's gonna be kind of disturbing. With a name like The Brutalist, you can only assume that.
Okay.
Adrian Brody, knowing his very dramatic character being the pianist,
Mm-hmm.
also star of Predator back in the day, also star of many Wes Anderson films. Very dramatic actor, strong nose, very strong looking nose, very strong chiseled features.
Are you saying that just he's Jewish?
Is he Jewish actually? I thought he was like Italian for some reason. Not
Wait,
important.
is he not Jewish? Wait, who was I confusing him as? Am I an idiot? Wait, who did I think he was?
I'm gonna say The Brutalist is about a man who is going through something, right? Or no, how about this? Maybe he's a part of a cult, okay? Maybe he's a part of a cult where he has to brutally hurt people.
Okay.
That's my thought. That's my idea. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. I got you. First of all, before I respond to that claim, I need you to know I was confusing with Adrian Brody with Adam Brody, and they're completely unrelated.
Great.
Yeah, great. It does sound like that. A24's next horror movie is called Heretic. We talked about that with Hugh Grant. I think we broke that down in a couple podcast episodes ago.
Yeah.
So this is actually not a horror movie, even though it totally sounds like it would be one. And I would love to see a cult of just violence. There is going to be violence in this movie, though. It is a drama. And here is their logline. Escaping post-war Europe, visionary architect Laszlo Toth arrives in America to rebuild his life, his work, and his marriage to his wife, Erzsébet, after being forced apart during wartime by shifting borders and regimes. On his own in a new strange country, Laszlo settles in Pennsylvania, where the wealthy and prominent industrialist Harrison Lee Van Buren recognizes his talent for building, but the power and legacy come at a heavy cost. So, about the architect who invented brutalism.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
It does sound very interesting. So
interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll take
I'm ready for the last one.
You got two more, and we'll go through them fast.
Oh, I got two more?
You got two more, and we're going to go through them fast. Because I think you might have heard of this one. The Electric State by Netflix, starring Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt.
Oh, this is the one that the Russo brothers wrote and directed, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I haven't actually seen the trailer for this. So I've only seen pictures because I follow all of them on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, based on the pictures, your best guess.
All right, my best guess is that there's robots, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Chris Pratt has to protect Millie Bobby Brown from these robots who are rising up.
That's probably exactly what the movie's going to be, yeah. Probably exactly what the movie's going to be. You heard it here first on Geek Gourmet. That is the movie. Yeah. Their official line is set in the aftermath of an robot uprising. A robot uprising in an alternate version of the 90s. The electric state follows an orphaned teenager who ventures across the American West with a cartoon-inspired robot, a smuggler, and his sidekick in search of her younger brother. And let's just hear this cast. The film stars Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt, Ke Kwan, Jason Alexander, Woody Norman, Giancarlo Esposito, Stanley Tucci, Woody Harrelson, Anthony Mackie, Brian Cox, Jenny Slate, Hank Azaria, Coleman Domingo, and Alan Tudyk.
Oh my god. What was their budget? People
$1 billion? I don't know.
Really trust the Russo brothers. I mean, look at what they built. But yeah.
Right.
So
maybe this movie's actually good.
But that's cool. I'm excited about that. And
based on the
Netflix.
cast, directing team, I have high hopes. Netflix has never made a sci-fi movie that I've just fallen in love with, but I'm going to hold out hope because I really like a lot of people on this. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Stanley
Okay.
Tucci, though? That's cool.
I know, right? Okay, last one. A Complete Unknown, produced by Searchlight Pictures, starring Timothy Chalamet, Elle Fanning, and Edward Norton.
Okay, I have a clear vision for this one. You ready?
Okay.
Based off of the name, what is it that we don't know in life? There's a lot of things, but the biggest thing we don't know is about outer space. How about this? How about this? Looking at all of the people who are in this, minus Elle Fanning, she's kind of an outlier here, but stay with me. Timothy and Edward are very dramatic actors. That's Paul Atreides right there. That's also Wonka right there. However, there's going to be like an asteroid or something that falls into Earth. Maybe it's a spaceship. Maybe it's like a living organism, and they're going to try and like research it. They're going to be the team that goes in there to research that spaceship or to like confront this being that they don't know what it is and do some research because they don't know what it is.
Okay, boom. Alien flick.
Yeah.
Set in the influential New York music scene of the early 60s, A Complete Unknown follows 19-year-old Minnesota musician Bob Dylan.
Fuck.
It's the Bob Dylan biopic.
Wait, is Timothy fucking Bob Dylan?
Yeah, this is the Bob Dylan biopic.
That's gonna be interesting. I've said how I feel about these fucking movies, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, I mean that's it. It's a Bob Dylan biopic, and it culminates in his performance at the Newport Folk Festival in 1965, where he really rose to fame. I'm interested. Timothy Chalamet is doing the thing that every actor does, and every actor's like, well, I've created my own characters, but now I really want to study another human and really become them. So he's doing that thing. Honestly, to try to prove himself as an actor.
Say what you will about Timothy. I think he's grown as an actor a lot.
We will. That little rat boy sure knows how to charm people.
It's very true. It's very, very true. It's not because I love Dune, but I do.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Louie, what'd you think? Did you have fun? Do you like our new segment?
I think it's fun.
If you like our new segment, please feel free to leave us a comment down below. The best way you can support us and help us make more content is by sharing us on social media, recommending us to your friends. Word of mouth is the absolute best thing that you could do for our podcast. Please, if you are interested, find our link tree and our links in our bio for all of our social medias. If you want to follow us, we post fun stories, news updates on the daily, and silliness between us. You can catch us gaming, streaming Wednesday nights. But yeah, where can we find you, Louie?
You can find me at the LouDOGG956 on Instagram, Twitter. I don't really use Twitter, but I'm on there. My anime list, which I've recently been updating.
Okay.
Instagram. Did I say Instagram? TikTok.
You did.
And right here on Geek Gourmet.
Yeah. And you can find me at RealSlimKD25 on TikTok, Letterboxd, and Instagram, but mostly posting new videos here weekly on Geek Gourmet. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, guys, and make sure to get your geeks, your gourmet.
Geek Gourmet.
Gourmet.